they were announcing Kathleen Kennedy's departure from Lucasfilm today, which it is about 2:30 in the afternoon in California. So let me get this shared out so people can join. And we're waiting. I'm glad you're doing that to me. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Can you guys see me? Hey, Dave, can you see me? Oh, come on, man. All right, you can't see me? All right, I can't see anything. This thing's black. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, just a second. Okay, just a second. I gotta share this out to Facebook. All right. Okay, damn it. This stupid thing. All right. So, yeah. She's, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know I wanted it to. Back to me. Cameron just posted something on his Patreon. Just a second. I'm gonna switch the lights here. Much better. Much better. All right, so we've been waiting for this for a long, long time. And last week when he said it was gonna be about, or whatever, it's gonna be whatever, how many, weeks, 2 weeks, and then she was gonna be out, there was no pushback from her. None. And I thought that was kind of, hey Baz, hey Dave. I thought that was a little bit interesting. There was no pushback. That tells you something. And then now tonight he posted this. So, I mean, he really does do a good job, doesn't he? So I don't have any champagne out. We're going to celebrate tomorrow, okay? But I do have a nice glass of Pinot Noir, and we went to a wine tasting tonight, and I brought some Barolo home, so I'm absolutely, I want to start crying. I mean, how long did we wait for this news? This should have happened years ago, right? Years ago. And, I just sit there and think, walking out of The Force Awakens feeling like, oh, why I don't like this, but I have to, and then a year later saying it was a shitty movie. And I think a lot of fans who thought they liked it felt it was a shitty movie. And then walking out of The Last Jedi with tears of rage going down my cheeks. And it was her fault. All she had to do was say, there you go, Baz, do it. I'll be here, and tomorrow night it'll be worse. Because I'll open that bottle of Clico. Walk out of The Last Jedi, go just crying tears of rage. Because it was the most mean-hearted, mean-spirited, fucking pile of crap I have ever seen in my entire life. And it was done that way deliberately. It was an attack on George Lucas. It was an attack on the fans. It was an attack on all the characters he created. Vice Admiral Gender Studies. Now you got all the dykes running around thinking Leia's a dyke. She wasn't, never was. And then what I love about it is then the writers for all this stuff going, oh no. Holdo had a crush on her, but she never reciprocated. It is still fucking gross. It did not belong in Star Wars. Keep it to yourself. You know, and then of course, JJ comes back trying to fix what was broken, and he made it worse. Ray Palpatine? Come on. All right. So this has been a week for a lot of news. Well, I hope you didn't put red wine in the refrigerator. When did you put that in the refrigerator? You don't put red wine in the refrigerator unless it's like a sparkling Shiraz, which I do have in there. I might just finish that tonight. Don't know. This was just a small bottle of Pinot Noir. I guess I'm drinking. Am I drinking his Cabernet? Oh shit. Ugh, just a second, guys. All right, just a second. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. I'm coming back. I made a big mistake.
This is some slow shit, Tig.
I know. And I opened up your thing, so I'm gonna put this in here, and that's yours. Right?
Why did you do that?
Because I grabbed the wrong box.
Oh, Tiger Marie.
I'm sorry.
I'm never gonna drink this whole thing.
All right, I'm back. Okay, so we've got good news, and I'm gonna tell you something. YouTube has been suppressing my channel. I've only got 4 people here. There should be a lot more. So if you want, please invite people on so they can hang out and, talk and whatever. I don't know. It's probably just a press release. And next week will be her outgoing interviews, which will be Pulitzer Prize worthy, I'm sure. But we have been waiting for almost 10 years for her to go, right? Almost 10 years. And it's almost in some ways anticlimactic, but I don't feel like that. I feel like I just want to, we've all been through so much emotional bullshit. And the fact that, my friend who collects crazy leftist shit off of Blue Skies, who works for a federal department. He is an appointee by the current president, and he basically works for a federal department. Goes and checks out what Pablo is doing. He has been belligerently anti-American, and you guys see it. I haven't posted any of the stuff that he has sent me, my friend has sent me, but I'm like, cheering ICE agents getting run over and then going to, the hospital because they had internal bleeding. That's something to cheer. This is the shit that was going on in 2018, and now no longer. No longer. It is over, you guys. I'm just, if I could show that clip of Frazier laying on the sofa saying, I'm just taking in the silence. I feel like a seaside village after the Vikings have left. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Um, it's just unbelievable, that we had to go through everybody. And we all went through this together. This is our victory. What they're going to say is it is an excellent clip from Frasier. What they're going to say, Kim, is it doesn't matter because they have to keep the momentum up. And they can sit there and say they don't make as much money from negative shit, but they do, or they would stop. They would stop. I am literally jumping up and down. Yub nub, damn right. Yub nub. Inside because she should have been gone in 2018. And I'm going to say this. I'm making a declaration right now. She and Frank sold that house for $12.5 million, overlooking the Palisades house, overlooking, was it Malibu or what? And so that socially important art collection, which most of it looked like 5-year-old finger paintings, by the way. For what reason? They owed Disney money. Why do I think that? Apparently, Steven Soderbergh was actually shown the sequel trilogy books by Alan Bergman and Bob Iger and went, I ain't owing you guys money. Before, her, Kyle Ron, The Hunt for Kyle Ron. Who the fucking wants to watch that? And now we've got the only place where the ST will be is like in an alley. And the Rise of Skywalker ride, Rise of the Resistance. And that's such an easy thing to reskin and put the Battle of Endor. I mean, I would love to do a Combat 2 Tatooine. And if Rise of the Resistance could be the Battle of Endor. And do a ride which you are in the trench run going to blow up the Death Star. Like, whatever. I think that would be cool, and I think they might do that. Now, some people were like, well, where's the prequel trilogy? Patience, Padawan. Patience, it will come. You will see Luke, Anakin, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, the droids, stormtroopers, and, Imperial officers galore wandering around. And, Obi-Wan Kenobi, old and young. Maybe Qui-Gon Jinn, which would be cool. I would love that. Be great to get a selfie with Qui-Gon and Han Solo, my two favorites. Oh, and Anakin too, going, that'd be so cool. But no, I mean, that bitch is gone. And she's been gone for 2 years. And it's been obvious for 2 years. There's a reason why there isn't going to be a Star Wars celebration this year. They're going through changes. And I'm going to tell you guys something. They're not doing things like, in half measures. It looks like there's going to be a big change. Because my friend sent me an interesting exchange between Pablo and one of his douchebag commie. Wait till the announcement. And tomorrow night, when the announcement is finally out there, I'm going to have either a lobster. I'm going to go get the champagne before I go to bed tonight. Get it in the refrigerator. Have lobster, which I'm going to put in the steamer, and butter and garlic, and that's all I'm going to eat. I think they are, in fact, they are actually, I think, putting the original A New Hope out. Isn't it next year? I don't know. I'm just, ding dong, the bitch is gone. You know? And a lot of people are sending me stuff right now, and I can't read it because I'm online, but I wanted to capture the moment as it is right now. Again, we waited since 2018, and she should have been gone. That bitch should have been gone. After The Force Awakens came out, she was an interim. She was the interim president of the company, and you know, why? I mean, why keep her around? Because she made 2.3 billion dollars, and then it started getting obvious. She fires one of the Gareth, that was the director. I think it was Gareth Edwards of Rogue One, and had somebody else refinish the movie. And honestly, it was the only thing that went well. And to be honest, as much as I like the movie, if they got rid of that too, I'd be fine. He trusted her because George is a good soul. And he has a good heart. He really does. When you see what he's done for his employees that worked so hard on Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, the huge $1 million bonuses he gave them. He's a very generous guy, and Steven trusted her. But of course, there's a lot going on there because let me tell you, you guys, how many people here, I know Dave knows this, how many people here know the story of the Twilight Zone, the movie, and the helicopter crash that killed, decapitated the actor Vic Morrow, one of the child actors, and crushed another of the children? Put your hand up if you do. There were rumors immediately after. Yeah, JW, yes, he was. Art Davis, yeah. There were rumors, and I believe them, that, was it Joe Dante was the director? And he got thrown under the bus. So the director got thrown under the bus. There was so much coke. Yeah, John Landis. John Landis got thrown under the bus for, I get those two mixed up, I don't know why. What happened? The rumor, and I believe it, was it was a late night shoot. I think they were behind schedule. They had to get things completed. They cut corners, and they had these Huey helicopters. Everybody was coked out of their minds, and an accident happened. Helicopter went down and basically decapitated the actor Vic Morrow and the two kids, killed the two kids. The person, the producer on set that night, first off, they kept the kids too late. They should have been gone by, 8 o'clock? The producer on the set that night was not Kathleen Kennedy. It was her soon-to-be husband, Frank Marshall. Okay, so the story I heard is everybody had to, okay, there it is, deadline. Frank Marshall had to, or everybody had to like sign NDAs saying they don't know anything. My friend Bettina Viviano, it was cover up. It was. I had to sign an NDA. She was working for Steven Spielberg at the time. And the reason why was to protect Steven, George, and mostly Frank, I think. So Frank jumps on the company plane, flies to London. He's staying at the Dorchester, let's say. I can't remember which hotel. There's a knock on the door. There's a female federal marshal. And one of the hotel's people, federal marshal says, Mr. Marshall, you're supposed to come with me. The FAA and the Department of Justice have questions for you concerning the accident on the set of this film. Marshall said, I have to pack my stuff. I'll meet you down in the lobby. She naively believed him. What he did, he grabbed his shit, threw it in his suitcase, went out the back door, grabbed a cab, went out to Heathrow, jumped on the next plane he could get, the company plane, and flew to France, which doesn't have an extradition treaty. And he and Kathy spent, I think, a year there until the heat was gone and he could come back. And the next best thing was to throw, poor John Landis under the bus when, the person ultimately in charge, and Al Ruddy, the producer of The Godfather, would agree with me, is the producer. All right. And now I'm going to say this, George and Stephen weren't on the set, and I'm not going to imagine those two crawling up everybody's ass every day to see if they're doing drugs. Okay. That was actually Frank Marshall's job. Because they're up here, he's here. And he has to be there all the time doing this and whatever. And, Mr. Marathon Runner, they had to get it done. They cut corners and people got killed, right? Because they were doing this, and I'm sorry, ick. Gross. But there's a reason why Kathy's been able to get through things, right? And to be honest, she worked, she first was working for, John Milius when, and they were sharing the same office at Warner Brothers with Spielberg. And he basically, when Amy Irving, on an airplane going to Japan, they were going to go get married, and she suddenly said, turn the plane around, we need to go back, I'm in love with Willie Nelson. Oh, how do you decide between Willie Nelson and Steven Spielberg? The biggest nerd on the planet, whom I love, by the way, and the biggest aging hipster on the planet. I think I'd jump out of the airplane if that was my choice. And, whatever. But this is what I got from the story. Spielberg was just completely broken. And Kathy swooped in and took care of him, including buying his clothes, setting up his house. And he felt like he owed her, right? And this was actually after 1941 came out. And him and John Milius were like in the crossfire of Hollywood because the movie did not do well. And it's a good fucking movie. It's like, what were you guys? Go have fun, watch. It's hilarious. John Belushi, that guy was a riot. I don't care. But there you go. And that, that's what happened. And she's managed to stick around because she can do things like stack books neatly and get the coffee right and always be there to do and this. But when you put her in the spot to do something creative, she would say, I know, what if in the end he ended up with a dog? It's like, no. But yeah, there's a video out there, and I think they took it off of Disney because I think people were grabbing it, where there's a round table. There's a round table. Favreau, Taika Waititi, Dave Filoni, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. And Bettina just sent me the headlines from, I would, if you guys wait a second, I'm going to have her just come here. Okay, just a second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Come on. Thank you. Hey guys, I'm back. I just want her to, if she shows up. And they're all talking, and if you know anything about Jon Favreau, he did that dinner thing where he had a bunch of people. Carrie Fisher was on it once and was hilarious. And Kennedy interrupted, I can't remember whom, and he basically had to say, we're doing this one at a time. Okay, so there you go. And, and so she's been that way her entire friggin' life. And, to her, Jon Favreau's a nobody. And, he's the one that started the MCU, but she didn't care. Yeah. And that's what she did. She'd talk about above other people. You will find in your life that there are people that will do that. And like I know several, and I just say, you're stepping on my feet. I'm not done. Because there are people out there that listen to about half of what you're saying in order to respond. They don't listen to understand. And that's one of the biggest problems I think people have in communicating. A lot of things I think that are going on that are bad in this world would not be going on if people just stop that shit. And she can't. All right. So there was that. And, let's talk about the poor decisions. Firing Gareth Edwards for artistic, what were the artistic reasons? Did he not want Vader to go through the hallway scene? Was she the one that said he should do that? No, I don't think she was. I think the second person that came in, I can't remember who it was, they came in to direct, said we need to do a Vader hallway scene. And no, we haven't seen the shooting script for Rogue One. And J.W. Rinsler was gone by the time that movie came out because he had had it with her and her bullshit. Oh man, if he was alive right now, he'd be like, my NDA is over. Now I can say everything. And The Force Awakens was not a good shoot. It was not an easy shoot by any means. The least egregious thing that happened was Harrison Ford getting his foot broken by the Falcon's landing ramp. And to me, I'm going, well, she was pissed off at you. So she slapped you. Okay, how else are you going to respond to that? But, another bad decision. Rian Johnson. You give a guy who only directed like TV shows, a tentpole movie in the middle of a franchise like Star Wars, and your excuse is, well, I want to see young directors get a chance. Sure, they can make their small movies and get noticed and work like, Steven Spielberg did with, hey, dude, how you doing? Um, Steven Spielberg did with the movie TV show Duel. You know, George Lucas with TX, whatever, which didn't do well. Then American Graffiti kicked box office ass. Um, Mark didn't blame her, but I think that if she'd have said, the fans want this, it is going to happen, it would have happened. I think that Bob Iger would have said, okay, fine, what the fuck? That's who sells tickets. Daisy Ridley doesn't sell tickets. She's never sold tickets. Don't tell me that she sold tickets The Force Awakens. Kennedy's gone. Mike. And it is Yub Nub. All right, so with who? And it's like, the reason why The Force Awakens did so well was Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and the biggest reason of all, Harrison Ford. Because if you look at it through the lens of box office inflation, no actor has sold more tickets than he has. Right? I don't care about what's his face, Snakes on a Plane, whatever. No. And there it is, right? I mean, bad decisions. Let's go back to that. So, yeah, we didn't buy them for Daisy Ridley. We didn't know who the fuck she was. And by the end of the movie, we didn't give a shit who she was. Well, we did. Because of JJ's little mystery boxes. Because you can't tell a story. We went because Chewie were home. That's it. That's why we went. And everybody scrambled to the theaters because we wanted to see Harrison Ford as Han Solo. And despite what he seems to think, everybody's favorite character that he's ever played is him. It is. Americans love their gunfighters. Americans, the world loves that cowboy. We love that. And, it's like, this is the guy that romanced the princess, survived a horrible thing. There you go. Another bad, yeah, that's what we thought, and it wasn't. It's really funny. Kennedy said to George in that one interview, we have, something about moving the story forward. Moving the story forward does not mean destroying everything that came before it. You stupid, entitled, red diaper baby from Berkeley, California. It just doesn't, right? And moving the story forward did not mean drunk deadbeat dad Han Solo. Leia, I don't know what the fuck that was. And Luke, the hermit living on an island. It didn't at all. So there you go. J. Joe fans, if I want to ask you a question, you can post it. Do you watch Nerdrotic? Do you watch Ryan Cannell? Do you watch Geeks and Gamers? Midnight's Edge? Any of them? That Star Wars hag? OG Star Wars, whatever she is. Do you watch them? Okay, well, if you're here, that's good. Because I expect people to be objective and to understand what's going on and not go for the gaslighting rage porn that those channels sell. They lied. They have lied about Ahsoka. Ahsoka was a good show. They lied about Kenobi. They lied about Skeleton Crew. And it's like, they were good. Just sit back and watch and have fun. This is what Star Wars is supposed to be. You know, Kenobi broke canon. No, it didn't. Did you ever watch A New Hope? Yes, I did. Did it look like, when you first watch it, you're not really whatever. Luke had never left Tatooine until he jumped on the Millennium Falcon. So the idea that somehow Kenobi broke canon by not putting Luke and Obi-Wan on an adventure is absolutely stupid, and it's politically driven by people who are Star Wars fans, or they're EU fundamentalists. You know, as a Catholic, I see, you know, so-called Christians who are Bible thumpers. They're fundamentalists, and when they open up their mouth, they don't know anything about the Bible. The people that scream for the EU to the point where it's like, you know, are the same way. They don't know anything about Star Wars, right? And the creation of the story group, that was her too. But, you know, let's go back to the mistakes. Hiring Ryan Johnson. Okaying the first script of The Last Jedi. Right? Are you shitting me? Right? Sticking her nose where it didn't belong in the Book of Boba Fett. Don't tell me that that was all Robert Rodriguez's fault. That because John apparently wasn't there the whole time. Yeah, not monitoring the dailies on the Solo movie. Have you guys seen The Offer, the TV show The Offer on Paramount Plus? This is in 1971. Bob Evans says to Peter Bart, let's go watch the dailies. He did that every afternoon at the close of a day when he was in Hollywood. When he was working as the senior vice president of Paramount. And that's what they do. That's why we got The Godfather. That's why we got Chinatown. That's why we got Robert Redford's F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby, which was written by Francis Ford Coppola. You know, and, you know, Sparrow came back too. Guys, I'm going to cut this short and maybe come back in a little bit. But I want to finish this. So, if you are the president of ICON, and you've got a slate of films that are being made, all right, Dave, talk to you later. You got a slate of films being made. You watch the fucking dailies. You work your ass off. Obviously, she was far too busy getting her nails done and her, you know, micro needling done to worry about the dailies. So when Larry Kasdan, in exasperation, finally got her to watch the fucking dailies, she was like, oh my God. I would have watched the first set and I would have said, what the fuck are you doing? We're not making Austin Powers or Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. We're making Star Wars, a Han Solo movie. This is a serious fucking movie. Okay, I don't want to see that anymore. And if they start, I'd be like, you're fired. Larry Kasdan, you are a director. You're in the Directors Guild. You do it. And I don't even like the guy. I don't. Yeah, Stacy, I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go in a second, but I'm kind of liking the sound of my own voice right now. I'm like, that fucking bitch. But let's go through one more minor, inconvenient bad decision. Leslie fucking Headland. Oh, hi, Stacy. Leslie fucking Headland. You guys all saw her in 2019, going on about what a misogynist George Lucas was, and that he didn't know enough to create the lookbooks. He was the person who started the lookbooks, you cow. And he wouldn't have known enough to hire Ralph McQuarrie. I'm force choking her right now. He hired Ralph McQuarrie to make the concept art so Alan Ladd Jr. could take it to the executives at Fox to show them what George wanted to do. You saw that. You saw her say that. And she knows, and trust me, afterwards, when she was called out by Star Wars Theory, Toos, she knew she looked stupid. Because she is stupid. She is fucking stupid, right? And that, my friends, was the biggest fucking mistake that Kennedy ever made. You want low IQ? You want low energy? I'm going Donald Trump. Kathleen Kennedy. Leslie Headland. Oh, and the fact that apparently Polly, Latino Slant, has a friend who worked on The Acolyte, whom Leslie Headland's bestest friend, that ugly, she played the green cover-up bitch. Rawr, Baz, rawr. She was abusive towards him. Leslie Headland's bitch was abusive towards him because he was a man, and they treated the men like meat. I mean, look what they did to the guy that played Queermeyer, whatever his fucking name is. And I'm really hoping that guy comes forward and says something. Paulie wants him to. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go and see what has been going on. Because I'm the first person that alerted Cameron to what was going on when Bellany said that. And, freedom. Tomorrow night, shit's going down, man. I gotta figure out how to do it. But I want music, I want I want everything, right? I want Yub Nub, I want celebration times, come on. I want everything. I do. So anyway, Yub Nub, my friends. Rebellions are built on hope. What is in this? What hope? As Leia says. We won, and I might start crying right now, so I gotta go. Anyway, if there's more to talk about, I will be back, probably with makeup all over my face. So, see you guys around the galaxy. Remember, no droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no sequel trilogy fans, no black pills, real Star Wars fans. That's what we want. I'll be back.